Yeah, this is from Naidu. Welcome to SFDC scenarios. Today we will see Salesforce to OpenCage data integration. Okay, in this scenario, we'll see reverse geocoding. I already created a video on forward geocoding. If you haven't watched that, I would suggest you to go through that video. Okay, let's get started. Okay, what is reverse geocoding? So basically what we will be doing is we'll be just passing latitude and longitude in the query parameters, and then we'll be get and then it is going to provide us the address, be it city or state, and some other parameters. Okay, let's get started. I already created an apex class. I'm going to achieve the functionality with the help of future method. I want to make a call out from the future method, so that's the reason I'm just setting it to call out equal to true. Okay, now I'll be creating an instance to HTTP class. Similarly, let me create an instance for HTTP request and response. HTTP request equal to new HTTP request. Let me do it for response as well. Response. Response. Okay. Request. I'll be setting endpoint here. Okay, before that, let me set the method. I just want to read the data from the external source, external system, nothing else. So I'll be just using get method here. Okay, and I'll be just setting the endpoint as well. Request dot set endpoint. Okay, first let me just first what I'll do is uh let me go here and then I'll just uh open the URL. Okay, there will be some URL here. Okay, let me just log in into this this site. Okay, okay. So let me just open the reverse geocoding in the URL. First, what I'll do is I'm going to put entire URL in the endpoint. Later on, we'll make some changes to it. Okay, so let me just put the entire endpoint here. Okay. Okay, let me just open the JSON code beautifier. I'll just paste the response here. In this scenario, what we'll do is in the result, okay, we have some section called components. Under components, we have a city and the country, city, district, country code. Okay, so in this scenario, we are going to access the values from the component no. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll be sending a request. Let me make a call out now. Response equal to http dot send off request. Okay, so now I want to know whether the call out is success or not. For that, what I'll be doing is I'll be getting the status code, and then if it is a success, then we would be getting 200 status code. Okay, so now what I'll be doing is I'll be just, since this is a JSON, I'll be just converting it into a object format. Okay, so I'll be using maps here. Map of string of object, output map equal to map of string object. Okay, so I'll be using JSON.deserialized untype, and then I'll be putting body here, response dot get body. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll just check for result. No. Okay, so result is an array. Okay, so now from this output map, I'm going to check whether it contains results node or not. Okay, is results present. Okay, from this output map, I'll be checking whether it contains results key or not. Okay, so results. Okay, if it contains results node, what I'll be doing is I'll be getting the result. Okay, so okay, result. So this is an array. So what I'll be doing is I'll be just getting results values, list of object, result list equal to list of object. And then from the output map, I'm going to get a result. Okay. Now let's see the structure ones. Okay. And from the results, okay, I want to access from the first record, I want to access component node. Okay. So this is a map. Okay. I want to access city and some other value, continent. Okay. So now what I'll do is if I'll just check whether it contains records or not. Okay. If it is not equal to null, okay, then what I'll be doing is I will be getting 0th record. See how to access that components. I want to get the values from the components node. Okay. So, okay, how to do that? See, from the result, we have to access 0th record. How to access the 0th record from the list? Results 0, results, result list of 0. Now, what I'll do is I'll create a map of string of object, a result map equal to map of string of object. So how to get the first element, first record from the list? We have to provide the index. If you want to access the first element, then you have to specify index here. Since we want to access it contains only one record, so 0th. So I'll be just putting 0 here. Okay. So now what I'll be doing is I'll be just checking whether it contains components node or not. Okay. From this map is component. So what is the node name here? Components node. Okay. Is component node present. Okay, from this result map, I'm going to check whether it contains components node or not. Okay, let me just copy it from here. Components. Okay, components. Okay, if components node is present, then what I'll be doing is, okay, so this is a map. Okay, component is a map. Okay, let me go over there. Component's a map. Again, what I'll do is I'll be creating a map of string of object. Okay, and this is a components map, component result map equal to map of string of object. Okay, from this result map, I'm going to get component node. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll try to display these two values in the debug. Okay, so city and the city district. Okay, for that, what I'll be doing is I'll be creating a string here, city, and then from this component result map, I'll be getting the city. Let me put some debug here, system dot debug city value from the components node city. Let me create another string in order to get in order to store the country. Okay, Kanto. Okay, country, and then let me just put the debug statement for country as well. Okay, country. Okay, so it says illegal assignment for from object to string. Now what I'll do is I'll just do the typecasting here. String. Similarly, let me do it for country as well. String. Okay, now let me execute the script. Still we are getting, okay, error gone. Let me execute the script. Okay, it is our class name, geocoding example, method name, fetch data. Let me execute it. Now we should be able to get country value and the city value. Okay, let me just click on the, okay, for some reason here it is not coming up. Okay, let me just go here, debug logs. Okay, it's not coming up. Let me just create a debug log. I click on save. Okay, it is already there. I cancel it. Let me just reload it. TDP send. Okay. Okay, let me just open it from here. See, we are able to get the values, right? So city value from the components. So, okay, and then this is a city name and this is a country value. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'm just going to simplify the code here. Okay, so what I'll be doing is I'll be just storing this base URL in the custom label and the API key as well. Okay, so let me just go here to custom labels. Okay, let me create API key, open cache API key. Okay, so what is our value here? Let me just put it over here. Let me save it. Okay, let me just go back. Similarly, let me store the base URL as well. So open cache URL. Okay, so I'll just copy the URL till here. Okay, and then we'll form the URL, final URL from the apex. Okay, so now what I'll do is, okay, so let me just create a string here in order to store the base URL. String base URL equal to how to get the custom label value. System dot label dot. We have stored this base URL in the custom setting, custom label, base URL. Okay, and then we after that we have key equal to, right? So let me create a another string here, key equal to, let me just copy from here, key equal to, okay, let me just put quotes here. Okay, and after that we have API key Okay, now what I'll do is I'll just get the API key from the custom label. How to get the API key from the custom label, system.label dot. So what is our API naming convention here? OpenCage API key. Let me just put it here. API key. Okay. Okay. And after API key, we have this. Basically, this is query parameters. How we are passing the query parameter values? Okay, we are passing it in the form of encoded way. So you are okay. Let me just go here. Okay. So basically, what we have to do is we have to uh, we have to encode the URL. Okay, so let me just go here and then okay. So the query should be URL encoded. Okay, for that we have a standard method in Apex. So I'm going to make the use of it. Okay, so now what I'll be doing is I'll be just naming it as encoded string. Okay, and encoding util dot I want to encode the URL, and then I will be just copying these two things. Okay, first let me just put one thing, and then I'll be just putting comma. Okay, and then again we have to pass longitude as well, right? Let me just put it here. Okay, so encoded format UTF-8. Okay, so now and unpretty equal to 1, what happens if you remove unpretty equal to 1? It won't come in a structured way. We don't need that. Okay, so let me just comment it out. For now, we are going to form endpoint, final endpoint URL, final endpoint. Okay, so final endpoint, let me just let me just add all the things here, base URL, and after that base URL, we have key, and then we have API key. Let me just put API key, and then encoded string. That's it. Okay, so now what I'll be doing is I'll be just setting this final endpoint, set endpoint. Let me just put final endpoint here. Okay, we have done with the code. Let me just execute the script. Okay, now let me just open the logs, future handler. So nothing is coming up. Let me just clear the logs once. Okay, let me just execute it. Number of future callouts 1, and then why logs are not coming up here. Okay, let me just go to the Salesforce debug logs. Let me check. Okay, let me just this log has been updated, page will be reloaded. Okay, so now let me just let me just execute the script. Okay, let me just reload it. Why nothing is coming up? Okay, let me just delete this all things, and then I'll create a fresh log. Okay, let me just remove expiration date. Dev console, let me click on save. Now let me just execute the script. Okay, let me check the debug logs. Okay, let click on view and then so we are getting status code 401. Okay, I think after, okay, we have to, sorry, I think we have missed under and q. Okay, so let me create that string query params. Sorry, it's my bad. I just missed that. Let me add this query parameter before encoded string. Okay, let me save it. Let me just clear the logs. Let me just click on execute. Let me go here. Now we should be able to see the values. Still it is coming. Encoding, I think this should be fine. Base URL and then plus key. Okay, key equal to and then API key. Okay, and then query parameters and queue and then encoded string. Okay, let's see what is there. Bad request. Okay, endpoint JSON. And queue. Okay, we have missed equal to here. Let me just put it over here. Let me just execute the script. Now I think we should be able to see the value. Let me just see. Let me check the logs. Okay. Uh, city value from the components node. Let me just see handover, and this is a country value. Okay. Let me just re-explain the code once. Okay, so I have created a future method since I just want to, make a call out from the class. Since I want to make a call out, we have to implement an annotation, call out equal to true. If you don't put call out equal to true, then we won't be able to make a call out from the future method. This is an instance for HTTP class. I've created instance for request and response as well. I'll be just setting a method. I just set the method as a get since I just want to get the data. That's it, nothing else. Okay, I have stored the base URL in the custom label. Okay, this is the way how we'll get the custom label value. Okay, and I just formed the final endpoint here. Okay, and then I just passed the final endpoint in the set endpoint, and then I'm sending the request. Response will contain everything. From that response, I just got the status code by using get status code method, and then the data will be in the form of JSON. What I've done is I just converted it into object format. Okay, from this response, I want to access the body. In order to do that, I just made, I just, um, I just utilize, get body here. Okay, and then I'm just checking whether it contains results node or not. If results node is present, then I'll be just getting the results. If results is not equal to null, I'll be just accessing the, I'll be just putting the first record to the map, and then I'm just checking component node, whether it contains component node or not. If it contains component node, since I just want to access the key value, since I want to access the component, I want to access the values from the component node. Again, what I have done is I just created a map, and then I'm just getting the components node here. Okay, from that, what I've done is I just I just want to, get the value. So I've used a get method here. I just did the typecasting here. If you don't do the typecasting, you'll just get an error. Illegal assignment object to string, something like that. That's it. Thanks for watching this video.